Hey guys, thanks for coming on tonight. So tonight we have got our amazing guest speaker, Keelie Bentley. She is going to be. I'm not even going to be talking to you today. It's all over to Keelie today. She has asked if she can tell you guys a little bit about how she gets sales offline. So taking this offline, speaking to people face to face, and how she actually gets more sales doing that than she does by using social media and things like that, which is really how this business started many years ago. So also she's going to show, I think she's going to share some top tips, some basic beginner top tips and DMO things that you need to have on your DMO. So this is ideal for anyone, whether, especially if you're like, you've been in the business a while and you're really into social media, but you don't tend to do much off social media, then this is great for you as well. So it's a little bit of something for everybody today. So over to you, Keelie. Do you want to start by just telling everyone a little bit about who you are, how long you've been in the business and where you come from and everything else?
Right, well, I'm Keelie. I come from Chorley. People say I speak funny. I've been in the business 2 years, maybe. Still SDD, but you know, I'm working on it. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I'm not very interested. But basically, the reason I wanted to do the Zoom, and I really wanted to do the Zoom, because I've seen so many people in the chats and saying to me like they really struggle to talk about the business or the products to people face to face, because for whatever reason, what I tend to find is that people say they get embarrassed or they don't know how to bring up the subject. So I kind of wanted to give you some examples of where I've got my sales from and what's happened and how I've broached the subject. But first of all, I kind of wanted to tell you the pros of face-to-face talking about the products, because even though it sounds really scary, I don't sit there and go, did you know I do this thing called Juice Force and we have this and this? Like, it just doesn't happen like that. But what I will do is, if someone brings up a problem with me, which like people do all the time, people will say, oh, I'm tired, or you know, oh, I've been full of a cold, I've not been able to shift this book, or my kids are really poorly all the time, or they'll say something along those lines. And I won't jump in and go, well, why didn't you buy some chewables, or why didn't you buy some boosters or whatever? But what I will say is, oh, you know, Ruben used to be exactly the same. He used to be really poorly. I've started giving him these things called chewables. They worked really well for him. I can help you get hold of some if you want. Like, not like, maybe not in those words, because it sounds like you're peddling drugs, but I can't hear you, Sally. I can't hear what you're saying. So.
Oh, so you sound like a drug dealer, and then you said it anyway. So I know a man that can, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. Oh God, yeah. But anyway, you know what I mean. Like, I kind of don't just jump in there, but I will sort of tell them about my story, or I'll remember. And this is what I did a live on this in the group not a while ago, just saying about how it's important to learn other people's stories, because there's always going to be something in other people's stories that you can use when you're talking to other people. So I could say, oh, I know this. I have a friend who's got ME, and she takes the premium capsules and they really help her for her energy and things like that. It's always good to draw on other people's stories, even if you don't have your own, or you don't have anything spectacular at the moment to show. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you've not lost 20 stone and you want someone to know the benefits of the shakes, then it's, sorry, I can hear Ruben talking outside. Go to sleep. Yeah, so I think face-to-face is a lot easier, because sometimes I find it really hard when I'm messaging people to kind of make it into a normalized conversation about the products. So I find that even if I'm having a conversation with somebody and they've even mentioned the products, I find that I end up trying to force this like chit chat about the products, when really I would rather be face to face with them having that conversation, because then you can bounce off the response, you can tailor your responses. So like we have a script for the messenger and for the messages and stuff like that on Instagram and Facebook. It's really good face to face to be able to tailor your script, if you will, like the way you're speaking to them and responding to them, by their personality, by the way they're responding to you, by the things that you know they do in their life, just their lifestyle, things like that. It's always a bit easier to do that face to face. I've also found that you get your answers a lot quicker. So whereas you may have somebody message you and then they might reply to your response 3 days later. When you're having that face-to-face conversation, you're going to get that response pretty much straight away. I don't mean the answer, you might not get a yes or a no straight away, but you'll get to bounce off each other with questions and answers. They can ask you anything they want to your face, and it's always good to do that because you can show your genuine passion for the product rather than trying to make that come out in a message, which is sometimes really hard. I do struggle sometimes with messaging because I'm trying to explain how much I love the product, but it can come across like I'm like overdoing it, and I don't mean to, but that's just what happens in a message. So yeah, I find that part of face-to-face really a lot better. Regards to the confidence and people's confidence doing it, I've always sort of thought, I used to be like quite, not embarrassed, but I used to find it really difficult to bring it up, and I used to be a bit like, oh, I don't want to say it in case they think I'm just trying to sell them something. I don't want to mention it in case they think I'm just trying to sell them something. But the way I see it is, if you had a terrible haircut and you had a friend who was a hairdresser, you would tell your friend about, you would tell them, oh, I've had this terrible haircut, and they would offer to fix it for you. They would offer that service to fix it for you. If you had a terrible set of nails done and you had a friend who did nails, they would say, oh, don't worry, I'll fix it for you. And that is basically what we do. Like, we are a service for people. We're not just the product. We aren't just defined by these products. It's the whole service. And I suppose what I'm trying to say is that I've kind of got it into my head now that it's not even about the products anymore. This is a service that I want to provide to my friends and family and customers, and the products are just part of that service. So that kind of helps me be a bit more confident in talking to other people about it, because I don't feel like I'm trying to, force a sale or push a sale or get them to buy something off me. I want them to understand that what we do is more than that. So that's kind of how I go about it, and that builds my confidence. So hopefully, if you can get that in your head, it might build your confidence too. So yeah, a couple of the people that I've had orders off recently, I wanted to talk to you about because they're quite weird. I remember telling Becky about them, and she was just like, I wish that would happen to me. Or it's like, I don't know, it's really hard to explain. It's just one of them things that happened, and I just rolled with it. And once you start talking about it, you become a little bit more confident every single time, and then you end up just having the conversation that kind of just ends up with them buying the products and getting the service that you're offering. So one of my most recent ones was a guy who came to do my insulation. So I had no insulation, that's a really hard word to say. I had no insulation in my loft or in my walls. So this guy came around, and he was a really nice guy, really friendly. We were chatting and stuff, and he said to me, what do you do? And I said, well, what I always say to people is I'm a student, because I am a student and that is part of me. But then I was like, tell me about that as well. Tell me about that. I don't know why, but I was just like, oh, and I work from home. And I started to explain what I did, and he said, oh yeah. He said, he used to work for Juice Plus. He used to be a rep a long time ago. Now he works for some other company, but he also does insulation. And he was saying he loved the products. His parents love the products, and he was saying, oh, I don't know anybody who sells it anymore. I don't know anybody who does it. And he said, so it's really handy that I've met you. And I thought, if I'd have just stuck to saying I'm a student, he would never have known that that's what I did at home. I didn't have this business. Anyway, basically nothing came of it at that moment. And he said, oh, I'll be in touch about the premium capsules to order them for my parents. And I was like, yeah. And then the other day I messaged him because he was going to look at some utility bills for me. And in the back of my mind, I'd also thought, you know what, I haven't spoken to him. He's one of my contacts. I would contact him if I was friends with him on Facebook. So why am I not contacting him outside of Facebook? He might have only been on my WhatsApp. I might have only had his mobile number, but I'd have texted him or whatever, or rung him or whatever. So I did, and I messaged him, and I just said, oh, can you look at my utilities? And he said, you know what, it's a really good timing that you messaged me, because I really want some shakes. And I was like, oh, okay, that's really good. And then he decided to order 2 lots of shakes, and he wanted to pay in full, which is like the best I know. I was sat there and I was like, he's paying in full. And he wants 2, because he said he was going to get 1 originally. And I was like, oh, right, yeah. But if your girlfriend wants some, you know, you don't want to be sharing. Yeah. I was just trying to like make it seem really normal and make a joke out of it. But it worked. You know, he obviously didn't know anybody else who did it. And I came into his life in this weird way. And now I have a customer and he's going to come back to me. He said in 2 months to order some premium capsules for him and his wife and paying full. So, you know, those are the type of people that you want to be trying to get on board, the people who you can have that face-to-face relationship with, because that builds the trust. Like, I could message somebody on Facebook, and I'm not saying Facebook doesn't work, because it does work, but if I message somebody on Facebook, it's going to take a lot longer than that one meeting to build that trust up and for them to want to order from me, or to, you know, think about me when they want to order. Do you know what I mean? Or they might see somebody else on Facebook and go to them. Whereas I've got them there in front of me. I may as well try and do my best with them whilst they're there. So yeah, that's that story. Another one was, I did speak about this on the live that I did in the group. The woman who I haven't, I'm naughty, I smoke an e-cig, but I don't smoke anymore. So, you know, I'm naughty, but I'm also quite good. So I go and get my liquids, and the woman in the shop, her hair used to be about like here, and it was really short. I mean, like really short, like almost shaved. And I was like, oh, you've had your hair cut. Yeah, it's really nice. And she did, you know, it looked nice to me. I didn't know any different. And she was like, oh no, she said it's horrendous. And she started welling up, like she was crying nearly. And she said, oh, I went to the hairdressers and they bleached my hair and it's all fallen out. And like, she's had a really terrible experience. So I was sat talking to her, and I actually sat in the shop for about half an hour talking to her. And I wasn't talking about the products, but then she said, I just wish it would grow quicker. And I was like, well, I take these berry capsules, and I got my Facebook up and I showed her my results picture, and I said that's the time frame that it took for it to grow. So if you took them, it might grow a bit quicker than if you just tried to grow it naturally. I said, but it's just an option sort of thing. And she was like, oh right, yeah. She said, give me your Facebook details. And so I gave her my Facebook details, and I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think, to be honest, that she would contact me, but I have been in quite a few times since. She's not mentioned it to me, but she ordered from me. She did add me on Facebook, and she did order from me, and she's mentioned it now since I've been in. She's obviously said, oh yeah, I'm really getting on with her hair, and her hair is growing, you know, it's obviously worked for her. But if I hadn't have had the confidence to say anything, I would never have got that order. So I suppose what I'm trying to say is, you have the balls to do it.
I think what you've got to remember is that we're not just selling products to make money. What we've got is genuinely going to help other people. And if you like, I loved, I wrote it down because I thought this was brilliant what you said, that if you've got a friend that's a hairdresser and you've got crap hair, you're going to go to your hairdresser for advice. If you've got a friend that's a nail technician and your nails are shit, you're going to go to your nail technician, and you're not going to them. You know that they've got a solution, and you know you're going to have to pay them for it, but it's not a bad thing. You know, because you want that. And we've got people that are coming to us saying, I'm not happy. I know you've got something that I want. So don't be ashamed or embarrassed to offer them the best plan, because you can say to them, you know, I take the best plan, and this is what I genuinely recommend for you because it is the best. But obviously, if your budget isn't as good, you know, if you don't have that kind of budget, then there's other sort of products that you can start on and work your way up. But I really loved that, because I think a lot of people, you do get that fear of, oh god, they're just going to think, or what if they take the piss, as well as another one. What if I start talking about Juice Plus and they take the piss? And I've had people say, you know, oh, you just do Juice Plus, and I'm like, yeah, full time, 3 years. You know, and they're like, oh, so you can actually make money from that. I'm like, yeah, actually you can. So yeah, it's really, really good. I love that story about that woman, bless her heart, losing all her hair. So how long has she been doing them now?
3 months before Christmas she ordered. So yeah, it'll be a bit more than 3 months.
Has she sent you any updates or any pictures or anything?
Well, like I say, I go in all the time, so I see her quite often, and her hair, she's loving him. She's absolutely loving him. And the good thing is about that as well is that she's in a shop, so she's a cashier in a shop, but they have a very good relationship with their customers, because their customers come back all the time. It's not like a shop where people might just drive past. They go there for their e-liquids, and they go there for a new e-cig, or they go and they trust that shop. So if she's saying, oh, you know, I got these berry capsules off this girl, and then she gives them my Facebook what details. That's another person to be in contact with about it. That's another person to build a relationship with about it. So
another way you could go about that is you can say to her, now that you've got a great relationship with her, you know, your service in this shop is impeccable. You know, you can tell that your customer service skills are amazing. I know you love the products already. And then would you be interested in perhaps finding out about more about the opportunity? Because she's like, you've spent time building that relationship and that rapport, and she's clearly someone that's got a great, if she's got that kind of great customer service attitude, she could be that could be the natural progression for the next step.
Yeah, well, every time I go in, she's like, oh, I've been doing today. And I said, oh, well, I've been working, you know, I've been doing it from bed though. And, you know, I make jokes about it all the time because that's the way I find people tend to relax about it. If I went up to somebody and went, I've been working from home, I work at home, I've got a business at home, it's an online business. You know, if I went into all those kind of details, people would just be like, right, okay. But instead, I just make a joke, and people get intrigued by that. They might find it funny, but then later on, they're like, okay.
She does, actually, yeah. So she stays at home all day while I'm sat here in this freezing cold shop, freezing my off, you know.
Yeah, so I'm sowing the seeds for that one. I'm working on that one. I'm building it up because, like I say, I see her all the time. So that's something that I do want to work on with her, and you know, I'm just kind of biding my time with that at the moment. But it's good that we have that relationship where I can do that.
Sometimes you get a sense for people as to when the right time is to drop that opportunity or drop the products onto them. I think, you know, like you're saying, if you just go straight in with, oh, by the way, I work from Juice Plus, you could do my job. I think sometimes it is, like, there's been a couple of mums at school that I've spent like a year kind of working my friendship up with them, and then they've ordered, you know, but it's taken me the time to build the relationship. And funnily enough, one time I have really got a sale from someone. I had eyelashes done and I wanted them taken off, and my eyelash technician was away, and I put a post up on Facebook, a Facebook group, a local one, just saying, is anyone a lash technician? What is it with big words today? We can't say insulation and technician. Now to take my lashes off, and she was like, well, I'll do that, I'll do it for nothing for you. And I was like, okay, great. So I laid on the bed and she's taking the things off, and she's like, so what do you do? And I was like, oh, I do Juice Plus, you know, well, I work from home, I sell Juice Plus and stuff. She's like, oh, I've been looking for someone for ages that sells Juice Plus, same sort of thing as you know, like she was already interested, and I happened to mention that that's what I do, and she bought the gold package. Honestly, though, I never heard from her again. I don't think she ever did anything with it, but she bought the gold package all the same, and she paid all her payments. So, but yeah. So carry on. There's some really good tips up so far here.
Yeah, I mean, those are my two sort of most recent face-to-face orders that I've had. But I've definitely got more confident in speaking to people about it. And like I say, I'm not embarrassed the fact that we provide a service to people. Once I've got that in my head that that's what we do, and I got it out of my head that we sell products, because I don't see myself as a salesperson. I've never been a salesperson. I don't think I'm a very good salesperson in that salesy sense. So once I got that out of my head and got it in my head that actually, no, what I'm doing is providing a service. I have a hairdresser who's a cousin. I have people in my family all over the place who provide a service to people and to customers, and they're not embarrassed to tell people. I've got a woman on my school run who's constantly saying to me, why aren't you coming into my salon to get this, this and this done? And I'm like, why aren't you buying, why aren't you buying shakes off me? You're always talking about how you want to lose weight. I can help you. We'll go out for, we have that kind of, but that's exactly the same for her. She can go out and do that for her clients and try and get clients and get people into her salon. I can do that to try and get people into the sorry, lost what I was saying then. Anyway, edit this bit out of the video. Hi, Roxy. Yeah, so other orders I've had, so I spent a lot of time with Ruben and myself going to and from different hospital appointments, and there was one girl in the hospital waiting room who gave Ruben a drink, and I think I posted about it on Facebook. She was really kind. Ruben was thirsty, and I said, well, if we go and get a drink now, we might miss your appointment, because the canteen was miles away. This woman gave me a drink that she had for her daughter, and I was really grateful. So I put a post on Facebook because I wanted to thank her. I didn't get a chance to say thank you because we got called in and she got called in at the same time. We ended up talking on Facebook because I tracked her down. Someone knew who she was and tagged her in and everything. And she's ordered the shakes and the boosters off me. So, but I was talking to her about it very casually in the waiting room, and I was mentioning about what I did, and she was telling me all about what she did. But that's another thing I find is that if you're talking to people about it and they say what they do, like, sit and listen to them. You know, that is part of the building the relationship. You don't have to sit there thinking, okay, yeah, this could be a really good customer. Just make a friend. You know, sit and listen to what they want to tell you. Be interested in their life, because then they'll tell you more about their life, and then you've got more chance of getting on better with them as a customer as well, and them turning to you for advice and help, and leaning on you as well. Because I find that sometimes people, like you say, Sally, they buy the products and they disappear, and I want to help those people. You know, I've said to so many people, you know, I'll see people posting. Someone popped up the other week posting in the support group saying it's not even worked for me, and I've told Becky about this customer. She's come to me once and told me what she was eating, and I explained to her that what she was eating was the problem. That's why she hadn't lost any weight, plus she was having a shake at midnight, which was bizarre. But yeah, so I basically sent her a load of information to help her, messaged her a few times asking her how she was getting on. She read them, didn't reply to me, and then the next thing I'm seeing a post from her in the support group saying that she's not lost any weight, it's not worked for her. And I've said to her, you've not contacted me back, and I'm trying to find out how the food thing's going for you. You know, I want to find out what you're eating and things like that. And she's still not got in touch. But some people are just like that. But I find that some of that comes with the Facebook relationship thing as well. Sometimes, you know, you have this relationship with people on Facebook, and then they order and think that that's it. They think they're just buying a product from you. But what I'm trying to tell people is we have a whole service for you, not just the products, you know.
That's really important as well. Like, I've got a couple of school mum friends, they'll be saying that, like, even school mum friends that I've got, they've bought the like gold package, and I see them at school and they're like, yeah, I'm not doing it. And I'm like, I'm here, you know, they see me every single day. And you can offer, some people you like, you give them the products and then you never hear from them again. You find out, like, one of my customers lost 4 stone, and I was like, I've not even heard from you. How have you, like, lost 4 stone? That's amazing. And then other people, you try and nurture them and nurture them and nurture them, and they don't get anywhere. Some people need the nurturing and then they get somewhere. Some people, you try and nurture them and they completely ignore you, block you, and disappear and never use their products. There's so many different dynamics to when someone buys the products. Like, I know that I was a pain in the ass customer when I bought my products. I had no intention of following the diet, and then when I did follow the diet, I didn't do it properly. I think that I was one of those annoying customers in the customer support groups, not really doing it properly and posting about it. But like, and I didn't really take any advice. But then now look, you know, it took me a year. No, it didn't take me a year. It took me like 6 months. But then it all clicked into place. I never give up on anyone just because they're a knob. Because I was a knob.
Yeah,
now look.
exactly. Yeah. See, Sally's a knob and no one gave up on her.
Exactly.
I'm only joking, Sally. I love you, really. Yeah, it's just I think my main focus at the moment is on the entire package, if you will.
Yeah. She's tired. She needs to go to bed. Well, off you go. Love you. See you later.
Good night. Yeah, so I'm really focusing on that side of things, like the service that we provide. I'm really trying to explain to people that first and foremost, I'm there to help them achieve what they want to achieve. And if they message me about the products, which, you know, is fine, and I know they want the product, I'm still gonna put.
I'm just and calling me a knob in the chat, so I'm pulling face.
Yeah, what was I even saying there? I'm
sorry, Kate.
I can't remember what I was saying. Yeah, focusing on the service for the whole package. And if people message me about the product, the first thing I say to them is I tell them every single thing that we provide that isn't the product, and then I'll say at the very, very end, or messages later, because they might say, okay, well, what can I use alongside that to help me? I will then tell them about the products that I think suit them, or, like you say, go for the biggest package and then work my way down. But I'm trying to start with the plan side of things first, because that is, people have got in their heads that Slimming World Weight Watchers work. So if they've got that in their head, then we need to get it into people's heads that our plan works too. It's the same as them. It's a plan that they have decided to pay money to do to keep them on track. The products come alongside that for me, and it could be in many different ways. It could be the shakes, it could be the boosters, it could be the capsules. You know, you can always add that on later, but as long as you concentrate on the fact that you are doing exactly the same as what those bigger, you know, like more commercial weight loss companies are doing, then yeah. And I also always say to people, if they ask what the shakes are for, I always say that about weight gain, because that seems to help them think that you're not trying to tell them they need to lose weight. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you say to somebody, oh yeah, we have these amazing shakes for weight loss, then they might think, well, how do you know I was messaging you about weight loss, if they've not mentioned specifically that. So something I picked up from Liverpool about finding out what people's goals are, finding out what they want before you go into the whole, you know, script and spiel thing. I don't use scripts anymore because I find it a lot easier to just talk, but that's just me. So yeah, another person that had order off me, like you're saying about school mums, one of the mums on the school run ordered some chewables for her little boy, who was literally exactly the same situation as Ruben. I told her about Ruben. We weren't really close or anything, but I told her everything, and she just ordered them that there and then. I got home and she sent me all the details straight away. And that was just because I had the confidence to say to her, well, look, this happened with Ruben and this is the outcome. So yeah, I suppose what I just wanted to say is, don't be embarrassed about what you do. Don't be embarrassed about the products because they're amazing. Don't be embarrassed about the fact that we provide a service to people, because that's amazing. You know, you just got to be really confident about what you do, basically.
The fact that you say, I mean, I like that you know, you say you open up with like all the free things that we offer, because we do a lot of work for a customer, really. Like, we provide a support group, we post in there daily, we provide them with recipes. We've got a 70 or 100 page recipe guide with a detox plan with all the information that you need to know about nutrition and what's the good things and the bad things that you do. We've got videos that they can watch that explain about it. We do live motivational videos. We do weekly check-ins with them. You know, we can do weigh-ins if they want to. We've got certificates that we can give. I've listed nearly 10 things that we give for free, that we, you know, we're not just selling a package to someone and then saying, ta-ta, you know, I've made my money, see you later. We're saying, you know, when you buy this, you get me. Oh, there you go. The number 10 is you get me as your one-to-one mentor. You know, any problem that you have, I will help you work around it, which you don't get with Slimming World. You know, you get your book and you go in for your weekly weigh-ins, and that's fine. And that works for some people. And there's different strokes for different folks. I would never slag off another company. What works for one doesn't work. I couldn't do Slimming World. It's just not for me. I needed something that was going to change my life completely, rather than just changing my eating habits a bit, because I'm an all or nothing kind of girl. But we do really offer a lot of free stuff, and that's really good. And the other thing that you said about not going in with them being weight loss shakes, now quite a few people I've seen recently have been complaining that why are Juice Plus selling weight loss products if they don't help you lose weight? Well, we actually don't sell any weight loss products. The only weight loss product we sell is the boosters. That's the only weight loss product we have. All the other products are nutritional supplements. They are nutrient-rich drinks. They're great for athletes building muscle. They are great for children that don't eat well. They're great for pregnant women. They're great for anybody that wants a nutrient boost, and that's what the shakes are for. But they can be used as a low-calorie meal replacement alongside our Love Your Body plan, which is what is going to help you lose the weight. But the shakes and the capsules, obviously everything else, the capsules obviously help improve your metabolism, your digestion and things like that. You reduce your bloating. So all in all, you're going to lose weight, you're going to lose inches. But like you say, I think me and Becky were actually talking about this earlier, weren't we, Becky, about how the market is saturated at the moment with people pushing weight loss. And actually the ethos of our company has been lost, because we're not a weight loss company. We are a health company. We're about helping people get healthy. Mothers, children, grandparents, you name it. We're not just aiming at fat people. We're aiming at babies and everybody in between. You know, it's really important. And then again, I think once you get away from that kind of weight loss mentality, then you lose the stigma as well.
Yeah.
Because you're back to helping people stay healthy. I did a really good rant the other day on about the NHS and about how if we had to, do any of you watch like Grey's Anatomy and Chicago Med and stuff like that, and you see like they're in America and they have like these medical bills that are like 50, 60 grand for like, I don't know, an ingrown toenail operation. And you're like, do you know what, if we had to pay for that, I bet you we would all be a little bit more health conscious. You know, we'd be a bit more like willing to invest in our health and prevent ourselves having to. If every time you went to the GP it cost you 150 quid, would you do everything you could do to prevent yourself going to the GP every month? You would. But we can go there every day if we want, and it costs nothing. And our prescriptions cost practically nothing in comparison to what they should do. So that was like, I did a really good little rant on that, and I got loads of people going, yeah, you're right. And I got a couple of people saying, actually, do you know what, Sally, you've made me think. I really need to be looking after my health a little bit more and being more responsible, taking more responsibility for it. So yeah, I think if you can get away from the weight loss aspect of things, obviously a big part of our marketing is weight loss, but if you can focus more on the health, focus more on the child health study, parental health and child health, and grandparents' health and child health. Grandparents can promote, like sponsor their grandchild and stuff. Maybe focus more on grandparents. They're might be more likely to have a bit more money than parents. But then you're getting away from the stigma and perhaps away from the embarrassment of talking about it. And then again, like you're saying, Keelie, if you go face to face with somebody and you're talking to them about a health product, it's less embarrassing than talking about a weight loss product. But
Yeah, if someone was to message me and say, I really want to lose 5 stone, what's the best thing for me to do it, then of course I will always try and get something else in. I'll always try and get in that we're not just for that, because they might know somebody who's looking to gain weight. They might know somebody whose children would do really well on the tube boards. I always slip in other bits and bobs, even if I don't think they're going to be interested. But also the weight, if I say to somebody, if somebody messages me and says, can you tell me about your products, the shakes, for example, I never just say they help you lose weight. I give the full list of what they do before I even say they help you lose weight. It's almost like an afterthought that they help you lose weight. So then they feel a bit more comfortable. Like they don't think, oh, she just wants to sell me. Because people get offended, you know, even if you're not saying it in that kind of way, they will then sit there and mull it over for an hour, feeling miserable, thinking I do need to lose weight. And to be honest, that's not a good mood to put people into, want to order from you. So the best thing to do is to just make it sound like you cater for everybody, which we do, rather than just focusing on the weight loss side of things. Yeah, definitely. But I do find that I'm getting a lot more interest from explaining to everybody what we give first, because a lot of people come back to me going, wow, I didn't know you did all that. I just thought you sold shakes. And I'm like, well, yes, I know that you think that, because that's what everybody thinks, but I don't. Like, and I'll explain about, I'll say that I'm there for them 24/7. If they need any questions answering, as long as I'm not asleep, I will answer them straight away if I can. You know, I'll explain to them the level of support they're going to get from me personally. And then, I mean, some people might not be able to do that, and that's fine, but I tell them what I can personally give them, and then that's up to them to decide if they want all that or not. And then at the end, I'll explain what the products are, but I always start with everything else first, because it comes across so much better as well, because it sounds like you care. It sounds like you really want to help them. It sounds like your main focus is getting them to achieve their goals, which is what, you know, we all say we're doing anyway, and we post about it every day.
It really is what we should be doing. You're right. And the more questions you ask, like you say, about tailoring your responses to them when you're having a conversation one-to-one, if you're asking lots of questions and you can tailor your response, you don't necessarily need to tell them that the shakes are good for weight loss if all they really want is a bit of energy. They don't necessarily need the shakes, the capsules and stuff. You know, make sure you're offering the right product. Like sometimes I'll have someone that says, I don't want to lose weight, but I do want to get healthy. So I will drop out the Fat Blitz package and the Sexy Shred, and I'll say, go for either the Champion package or the Total Health package, because they don't have the boosters, you know. And it's about them thinking about, actually, this is just a health package. It's not about a weight loss package. But we've run out of time in like less than a minute. So I just want to say a massive, massive thank you, Keelie. That was absolutely brilliant. I've taken notes myself. And I know a lot of the girls have said this is a really good call on here.
Thank you.
Really, I have enjoyed that. Thank you so much for doing it. I'm going to unmute everyone, and everyone can say hey. Unmute everyone. But yeah, thanks very much, everyone, and thanks, Keelie.
Well done, Keelie.
Fine.
Well done.
Thanks.
See you all later.
Bye.